Oh, hey, did you see that? I think it was a mouse. But what if it was a rat? Hey, this is Tim from Debug Pest Control, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the differences between mice and rats so you can identify the pests that might be bothering you in your own home. It's important to know the differences so that we know how to treat that problem going forward. Okay, so I guess the first thing we should discuss in the difference between the two rodents is going to be size. It's probably the most obvious difference, and it's the one that customers often will notice first. Dealing with a house mouse, it's going to be roughly 2 to 4 inches, and when you're dealing with a rat, it can be anywhere from 7 to 9 inches. In the Northeast, we really only deal with, or at least in the area where we live in the Northeast, we really only deal with the Norwegian rat. It's a big brown rat. They're mostly burrow in the ground, so they're going to stick out, and they're going to be large and robust. And this is also important because you might notice how they're getting into the home. If you find an opening where they're getting in, because of their larger size, they can't get into as big of openings. They can both get into shockingly small openings, which is a concern for any homeowner. A mouse can get into an opening of 1/4 an inch, or about the size of a dime. And a rat can get into an opening as small as a 1/2 inch, or about the size of a quarter. So these are all important things to keep a lookout for while you're looking for the difference between the two of those when it relates to size. I guess the next thing we should really talk about when we're trying to differentiate between them, which should be probably pretty obvious when it comes to size, is the difference in the size in their droppings. A lot of times when customers call the company and they say, hey, I'm having a problem with rodents, the first indication or first evidence that they found that they're having a rodent issue is the droppings themselves. So when you're looking at the droppings, if it's about the size of a piece of rice, it's likely to be a mouse. But if it's about the size of a raisin, it's much more likely to be a rat. So make sure you're paying close attention if you're finding droppings in your home so you can determine the difference in size and determine what you're dealing with. So I guess the last two things that we're going to talk about are the damage caused by the rodent and the noise, because both these things are going to be significantly different. When you're dealing with a rat, you're going to find that the gnaw marks or evidence of the rodent are going to be much larger. There's going to be significantly more damage. It's because they're bigger, they have bigger, sharper teeth, and they do more damage, and they need larger size openings. So that's the first thing you're going to notice is if you're finding damage at your property and it seems a bit more drastic than, mice nibble small holes, rats are going to nibble big holes. The other damage could be your yard or your outside. Rats will burrow into your property, and when they do, they're not very neat at all. They dig and they kick dirt everywhere. And with mice, you're not going to see the burrows. So if you're finding burrows outside, which is damage to the lawn or the property, often that's an indication of rats. The other big difference between the two of them, again, due to size, is going to be the noise itself. Often when people are having rodents in their home, they find that they're hearing either noise in the walls or they're hearing noise up in their attic while they're trying to sleep at night. Depending on the level of noise can help you determine what rodent you're dealing with. So if it's a really loud critter, like a rat, the noise is going to sound like a loud thumping, where a mouse is going to be a lot more like a light scratching. So these are a lot of really good tips on how to tell the difference between if you're having a mouse or a rat in your home. The good news is that Debug Pest Control can handle all these situations for you. So if you give us a call, we can make a customized plan for you to deal with the rodent issue you're dealing with in your own home. So if you're having a problem with rats or mice at your home, give Debug Pest Control a call.